Good morning, Knoxville College family. As we approach day 6 of our homecoming activities, I do want to welcome you all this morning. As before I begin to deliver these remarks this morning, I do want to thank you all for your bulldog spirit. I want to thank you all for coming out, for registering, and really participating in all of these activities that we have scheduled for you. I think it has been a treat that even in this COVID season, we did not cancel our homecoming like many of our sister, HBCUs did, but we did press on and to use this technology for us to gather together in a way that we can still feel like we have been home and to continue to see those old faces, even though from a distance, we're able to gather together. So on behalf of my wife, who is a 1995 grad, so she is actually celebrating her 25th year, and to all of our 25th year celebrants, as well as our golden graduate celebrants, and all of the alumni that are out there, I bid you a warm good morning. And so when I thought about these words for this homecoming, it's very different as we end year number 145. And as we move into the 146th year of existence of this grand institution, I really thought about what would be a most fitting message, not only for you, but for everyone who has a chance to hear this in the present and also in the future. And so they are words of encouragement, and they're stern words to remind us of where we have been, and most importantly, where we must go. And so we never really thought about, what life would be like on this day when we started this year on January the 1st. And so even as these events lead us into the next year, hold on, keep the faith, and know that everything will be all right. And so what a difference a year makes. This time last year, we were gathered on the campus of Knoxville College, enjoying the sights, sounds, and smells on the yard. Little did we know how much our lives would change thanks to a virus named COVID-19, or more affectionately known as the coronavirus. However, the coronavirus may have us wearing masks and practicing good health measures, but it has not waned the bulldog spirit or our collective ability to gather, even from a distance, to gather and express ourselves and reminisce about the good old days that were spent on the campus of Knoxville College. I was indeed a little concerned about this burgeoning pandemic at its beginning, and I realized the situation would not diminish as time elapsed. I knew that it would not diminish as it moved into summer. I knew that it would not diminish as the temperatures got a little warmer. In fact, as we gather right now, over 35 million people have been affected worldwide. Now we have over 8 million cases attributed to the citizens of the United States. We have over 200,000 people who started this year who are now no longer with us. And so it was my decision to move our homecoming from an in-person to a virtual gathering to ensure the people under my care and the alumni I love dearly do not become unnecessary statistics. COVID is going to be a marathon and not the sprint that most were expecting. In a similar narrative, Knoxville College is involved in a marathon. And thinking about Greek mythos surrounding the actual events, it led me to research the Battle of Marathon, a skirmish between the Persians and the Greeks. The Greek messenger ran back to report the news and uttered the word Nike Kamen, which translated means we have won. We are engaged in a battle, not one fought with artillery and military strategy, but we are in a fight for preserving the enduring legacy of Knoxville College. This is my fourth address to this august body as its interim president, and I'm pleased to present the following report that illustrates the journey this institution has taken since my last address. So since July 2017, when I prayerfully accepted this call to leadership to become interim president, I arrived armed with a vision and a plan for revitalizing this extremely important piece of Knoxville lore. For those who are not too familiar, when I assumed this leadership post, I inherited a campus without any students, no faculty, a campus in need of repair. We did not have an academic program, and we only operated out of the annex. No vision for the future. But I presented a vision for Knoxville College that to this day continues to move this institution forward towards becoming more economically stable, to rebuild its credibility and reestablish its academic base. So in creating this vision, I renewed the buildings of the college would require, it's going to require leadership, along with garnering the support of our friends, our KC family, and stakeholders to advance the mission of Knoxville College. I firmly believe leadership is more than having a title or a position. It is manifest in an individual who is not afraid to fail, who is not afraid to acknowledge that failure and get up and try again. I believe in these 6 enduring qualities of leadership, ingredients that when mixed together creates a wonderful recipe of success. I believe that you have to have a guiding vision, passion. You must be daring, have integrity, have trust, and also have curiosity. And so in this fourth address to you, I want you to fully understand my passionate plea because it originates from my heart. Over the past 3 years, I have meticulously positioned, packaged, and promoted Knoxville College to reach this point in its rebuilding. However, we cannot stop pushing forward because as we have seen the hand of God move across this institution by opening doors of opportunities and new engagements, now we focus our eyes on the future. Right now, we are focused on accreditation, but now we need to gather together to tackle the biggest problem that has been plaguing this college for the past 17 years. But before I mention those needs, I want to highlight what has the institution done since we have last gathered. So when we started out with our initial student body, we started out with an initial 7. Today, that number has grown to 32. So we have seen over a 450% increase in our student population. And I pray that that number will continue to grow as our years go by. And I know that it will. We've already had 2 graduates to be added to the alumni family of Knoxville College, and we have 1 more that is on the way. We are continuing to solidify our working partnership with the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, and also with the Tennessee College of Applied Technology for joint academic programming. The institution has opened up dialogue with the Department of Labor to partner and work with them to see if we can develop a new workforce development program for training and educational opportunities at Knoxville College. We have begun to reestablish our accreditation process. And so now we have identified a accrediting agency, which is the Transnational Association of Christian Colleges and Schools. and we have been in an active dialogue with them. And I have begun to assemble our information that we need to see and achieve this accreditation. If you've enjoyed everything that you have seen this weekend, all of our live feeds, all the use of our technology, this is because of a partnership that we have with Elkmont Media and with Mr. Paul Wells to assist us in our technological, our marketing, and our website promotion. So if you like our website, please thank Mr. Wells. He has been a great partner, and we have had a great time working together with making sure that our technology and products that we are producing is on the level and standards that we should have. We've entered into some new partnerships for vending. So if you've seen our Knoxville College merchandise that you've bought at homecoming, that is due a new active participation that we have with a locally owned business, a locally owned Black business that is here in Knoxville to help us with our vending needs. We've engaged in re-beautifying our campus. My thanks to KC trustee and alumnus Frank Shanklin, as well as to the city of Knoxville for partnering with us to help make this possible. So in all actuality, we have gone back there and cleaned out that whole back of the campus. We have a gentleman who most definitely volunteers his time to come up there and make sure that the back of the campus is well maintained. And now the back of the campus will probably by spring begin to look like the front of the campus. And so we will definitely have a very, very manicured grounds come next spring. Also, we did some cleaning. So we cleaned out the Memorial Gymnasium. We've cleaned out the old faculty apartments. We had to demo an old house that could not stand anymore. And so we have been strategizing to rebuild and make sure that this campus is looking as beautiful as it can be. And I'm thankful to Trustee Shanklin and also to the city of Knoxville for supplying a dumpster for us to use at no cost. I also like to thank Trustee Wesley for linking me up with a gentleman by the name of Stephen Belks, who works with troubled teens down in Florida. We have 5 students from Mr. Belks' group who enrolled with us as students this year. And one of those students actually is our new student government vice president. And so as we look at our fiscal position, we finished our 3rd year under budget. We have completed our 3rd audit cycle with no material weaknesses. And so that is important because that lets you know that the gifts that you give are not being wasted. They're not being spent in vain. You are not giving to a black hole. When you give, you are giving with a purpose. And it is my responsibility to ensure that those funds are used with that intended purpose. And so when you come back and you see your campus, you will see all of the wonderful things that are being done with the gifts that you give by faith, that you give in love, and that you give to help support the operations and the advancing mission of this college. And I want you to know that I appreciate those gifts and know that they are moving and being used for that purpose of rebuilding and sustaining this college. And so with that, we've been out renewing relationships within our community. And we're renewing our business relationships with people in our community. I'm proud to announce that Knoxville College was a recipient of a grant from the United Way. And so during the month of November, we'll be doing some pandemic seminars. And so we'll be talking a little bit about that through the CARES Act. We will be doing some COVID-19 pandemic seminars. And our plan is to live stream that as well. So you'll be able to listen in wherever you are and tune into that and hear some great information on how we can better manage ourselves during this pandemic. Knoxville College also received a scholarship from the Maya Angelou Foundation, and that was awarded to 2 of our current students. And so we're thankful to the Maya Angelou Foundation for that scholarship. As you can see, once again, we have rebranded Knoxville College through our website and through other innovative projects that we will be kicking off and others that we are doing. And so most of what we have been looking at is how do we find ways to strategize to make this institution more economically efficient and more operationally effective. And so we have really curtailed our expenses simply because I took a good look at where do we spend, our money, and was it really providing for us the truest benefit that it could have? If that answer was yes, it stayed. If that answer was no, it either got renegotiated or it went out the door. And so we have really cut back on our expenses and have really ensured that this institution is being run as effectively as possible. This past fall, we reestablished our Student Government Association. I believe that as the students are matriculating through this college, they should also have a voice. And so through that voice, we have reestablished our SGA. They have assembled their team. They have voted for their president who will lead them and their vice president. And now they are building their cabinet. And so I welcome that. And I'm happy that they're able to band together to support each other as they move through Knoxville College. Also this year, I have Director Dr. Bowers, who is our Vice President for Academic Affairs. She and I reestablished our Faculty Senate. We have some dynamic faculty members here at Knoxville College, people who are not just professionals in their own right, but they are brilliant in crafts of their fields. And so they have sacrificed a little bit of their time to come on board and assist me with teaching our students. And they are doing a great job, because when I hear them complain about the work, then I know that they are doing a good job. Knoxville College this past fall also established a partnership with the American Association of University Women. The AAUW is an organization that is based on eliminating gender pay gaps and other disparities for women. And so we have partnered with them. And yesterday, Dr. Bowers and I went through some training to become facilitators for the AAUW. And we plan to get out into this Knoxville community and abroad to share this information so that we can help eliminate gender pay discrimination in this country. When I read the stats about how much it affects us as a people, it is amazing that for every dollar that is earned, a African American or a woman of color will earn anywhere between 52 cents to 60 cents on the dollar. So that is a very alarming statistic, but it is one that we as a college will definitely engage in and to support the ladies because we have young women who are matriculating through Knoxville College. And so as they begin their careers, or they're already inside of their careers, We want to support them and help them to be wage earners to support their families and also support themselves. And so we have also established an affiliate partnership program with Prep Sportswear. If you noticed, when you registered for homecoming, you saw some Knoxville College sweatshirts and T-shirts there. Earlier this year, I reached out to Prep Sportswear and asked them about forming an affiliate program with the college. They were already selling Knoxville College merchandise on their website, but we were receiving nothing from it. So I reached out to them and asked for them to work with us or to not sell our merchandise. And so as a result, we were able to get inside of this program where if you, for every sale that is made, Knoxville College receives 12% of that sale, no questions asked. So this is a great way for the college to receive residual income. It also becomes a great income stream as you are able to now go out and purchase licensed Knoxville College merchandise. Also, I'm working on another agreement with another company, and I should be soon receiving the first prototypes of what they want to market for us. And if I do like what the way that it looks, we will add them to this partnership list. So for too long, we have had people that did things in the name of Knoxville College and did not return any gifts to Knoxville College for doing this, for doing these sales. So let me call this our official, band to arms to say, when you are not giving back to Knoxville College for selling Knoxville College, you're taking away from Knoxville College. And so now we have painstakingly found people who want to work for us so that when you go out and you and make sales and really go out and merchandise and buy these things, we know that you are purchasing quality product that also in return goes back to support your alma mater. So please know that the rebuilding of this college has taken the sum of the things that I've mentioned, also those leadership qualities, because I believe that there were two things that had to be rebuilt. The first one is trust. The other one is goodwill. And so these are two things that had to be rebuilt among our Knoxville College family and also among our community stakeholders. And so now we are developing a master plan that will continue to guide this college and to make sure that we are moving and achieving our goals. And so we do have a strategic plan that we are working from. And this strategic plan is a balanced plan that set realistic goals to be accomplished over a specific time period, which this one was a 5-year period. So coupled with this strategic plan, this is the vision for moving this college forward through this most critical time. And through this HBCU, it was also a transformation of attitude. And we had to change that attitude from both an internal and an external viewpoint. And so I took it and I thought about it and I really created this mantra that I will share with you. And I said, Knoxville College is not an educational institution with business aspirations. Knoxville College is a business whose primary focus is education. And so this is what we look at. We are trying to provide just not education, but mentoring, community building, and all of the other important ingredients that go into this institution for what it was in the past, for what it done for you while you were in school, and what it is doing now for our present students. So the creation and assimilation of these plans require a great depth. of personal insight and reflection. And I thought about the Latin term cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. This was the calling card for understanding my place in this grand ecosphere of education. The vision for Knoxville College meant business as usual had to change. Of course, there's always resistance to change, but I am thankful to those who have taken a bold stance to stand on this wall as faithful guardians, to stand up and fight for the enduring legacy of Knoxville College. And I'm going to take a sidebar to say, during this week, this has really shown me that there are definitely torchbearers out there. All of you are torchbearers. All of you carry the light of Knoxville College with you. Whether you graduated in 1954 or if you graduated in 2020, we are all light bearers to Knoxville College. We bear the mission of Knoxville College in our lives, in our work, in our careers. We carry this light to everyone. So when we excel, we can proudly tell people that is one of ours. That is one of Knoxville College's own that has been excelling. And throughout this week, as I met with the different classes of the decades, I was blown away by the rich legacies, the careers that you have had and that you shared with me, and all of the good that you have done to advance your community. And it not only in the community, but also some who are leaving their marks on this world. And I commend you for what you have done. And Knoxville College was that training and proving ground that gave that inspiration, that birthed that rigor, that nurtured those creative identities to help make you who you are. And so I thank you for sharing all of those things with me during this week. So as I continue, the redevelopment of Knoxville College started with the institution establishing that plan. And so we have reached several of these benchmarks. And I'm going to continue to make recommendations to make sure that we strengthen our policies and procedures to ensure that we increase our transparency and to make sure that our operations remain efficient. So Knoxville College is definitely a leaner, stronger, more transparent, and operating on a higher level of efficiency even since last year. And that is just due to our ability to conform to our strategic plan that we have in place. And that plan makes this movement possible. And assessing this plan substantiates where we are moving to not just have empty verbal words, but to ensure that we are accomplishing major tasks towards rebuilding this foundation. This change also meant change in the way we interact with the Alumni Association and to recognize their steadfast dedication to their alma mater. And so I am proud of the positive energy that is still surrounding and that is building within this family. And I'm thankful for the many years of continued, faithful, and unwavering support. Your financial support, your volunteer spirit, your prayers have not gone unnoticed. And I am truly appreciative for your sacrifice. And sometimes I think that there are two words that sometimes we forget to say. And I want to simply say thank you for what you do for Knoxville College. And so the institution was in need. And you have stepped up to help meet that need during one of the most unsettling times in the history of this institution. And so even with this homecoming, it meant that I had to make some tough decisions and make some wise assessments and look at methodical planning and execution of rebranding to make sure that this institution remains a viable one. So a lot of that is where my time was spent. And so I took this in a few phases. The first phase was really taking an assessment of the institution and making the appropriate changes as needed. The second phase was working to work with our academic program and to make sure that as we reopened, we were producing a quality academic program. Now we're focusing on our infrastructure. And so we are definitely rebuilding this infrastructure. We have renovated and reopened McMillan Chapel. We are now working on the renovations of Wallace Hall. We're cleaning up the grounds. And so we are definitely repairing our infrastructure. We're looking at grants to help do some preservation and restoration of some of our historic buildings. And so know that there is still a lot of work ahead, for us. And I'm thankful that you are getting behind this movement. The weight of this office sometimes is very heavy and the responsibilities are very awesome. But I know that I'm pressing towards a prize. And it is the race that I run, knowing that that prize is there waiting for us. The spirit of Knoxville College, the mission of Knoxville College is greater than any of us. And the success of this institution is due to you. But now KC needs your help. And now I'm calling for all of her alumni that are within the sound of my voice to please come back to support her and to support her mission. For 145 years, Knoxville College has been a beacon of light, and it has been my most enthusiastic endeavor to ensure this college remains for another 145 years. And so we know that the biggest obstacle facing Knoxville College is the debt that we have to Foundation Capital. We know that this debt is large. We know that it is looming. We know that it will soon reach an expiration. And so now I am working to develop a plan, because I believe that as this college moves towards 150, Knoxville College needs to be debt-free. Just like how we all live our personal lives to be debt-free, Knoxville College must be debt-free. And so when Knoxville College turns 150, we want to be able to say Knoxville College will reach its sesquicentennial celebration debt-free. And so in January of 2021, you will hear some more information about how we want to implement this debt-free plan. And so I know that it will be one, and I want you to know it is something that is obtainable. I believe that we can do it. When I look at our sister HBCUs that are around us that also have had, fiscal problems, they are emerging because their alumnus believe. And now we have to reinstill that same spirit of belief, that as you see everything that we're doing, everything hinges on what we do. And so now as we move towards 150, I'm moving because I believe that Knoxville College can be and should be debt-free. So I novel the beginning of our 146th year. As I know that if this past year has been great, I know that next year will be filled with even more excitement, with even more energy, with even more enthusiasm. And so we have found common ground because I believe that we must get our house in order. I believe that in order for us to be successful, in order for this institution to have a significant place in our society, we must collectively band together, because we have that collective responsibility to defend, to promote, and extend this legacy. And so I think about Knoxville College now as I look at my own house that I live in. And I know that if my house needs plumbing, if it needs landscaping, if it needs a roof, if it needs other basic remodeling needs, it would get accomplished because we want to protect our asset. Knoxville College is also in need, and we must make sure that we protect and secure our house. So Knoxville College truly has a magnanimous past. However, we cannot dwell on past accomplishments. We must remember, respect, and honor the past while our eagle-eyed vision is sharply focused on the future. Knoxville College has been entrusted into my care, and as such, it is one of my most valued possessions. So rebuilding the college is more than just its buildings. It is the reinvigorating of its base. It is reshaping its image. It is instilling a value system. It's correcting past mistakes. It's imagining its future. It is understanding its present, honoring its past, and setting a plan for the future. So as a part of this future, I am focused on a new initiative that is actually being spearheaded by our faculty and administration to look at some of the needs of the Knoxville community and how can Knoxville College once again play a role in its involvement. And so we're going to begin to focus on social justice issues. And we're going to get out here into this community and really talk about, not just the importance of Knoxville College, but what has Knoxville College really meant to the climate of social justice here in our fair city, and that was taken abroad. And so we've already made some great connections with local leadership here in Knoxville, and we want to be a resource. We want to be able to reach out to this community and once again become a viable part of this community. And so a lot of the events that you have experienced during this week is a part of what we plan to do as a part of this initiative. And so we know that these are challenging times. You can just cut the TV on to see the challenges. And so we are moving and really getting the support of our local leaders to band together to support this college and to look at many of the initiatives that we hope to look for. And so as I close, I want to focus, on a conversation that my mother used to have with me. And I lost my mom in March of this year. And so like many of our Casey family that we have lost along the way, I thought about the time when I was in college and my mom would get a copy of my report card. And when I got back home, my mom she would call me every morning, and she would call me around 5:15 because she would forget that I was in Central Time because I was living in Alabama is where I went to college. And she would get that report card and call me and wake me up in the morning. And she'd only ask me one simple phrase. He said, "Son, did you try your best?" So if my grades were good, the answer was yes. If they weren't so good, the answer was I could have done better. So today, I'm only asking if we are really doing our best. And so it is now a question that I pose, for you to think about in your heart. But as we roll out this new plan or this extension of our plan in January, I'm calling for all of KC alumni to step forward, because I'm going to need all of you to get on this wall. We're making the progress that we need to make. And now I think we had to give a reason to believe, and now we see these reasons to believe, and we are accomplishing some great, great goals. So as we move towards 150, we're building this coalition of support. Please continue to hold the light high with the knowledge and the pride that shines from it. Share this light with those that, sometimes the light gets a little dim, over the years. And some people may sometimes think the light has gone out. But I know that that light shines bright because of what I've seen during this week. I know the light has still shined. It still shines bright because of the letters I received, the phone calls, the emails, the social media posts. This light still shines bright. And so now, as we continue to stand on this wall, bring someone with you to stand on this wall with you. We can't do this alone. No man is an island. But we have to band together to move forward. This is a faith journey. I know that we have overcome a lot of challenges so far. We have accomplished a lot of things so far. And I have a deep-rooted faith that I know that what we are accomplishing will not come back without any return. And there are two guiding principles of faith that keep me moving. And they are two principles that are actually located on the Knoxville College seal. If you've ever had a chance to magnify that seal, it is the seal with a Bible. And on that Bible are two passages. And I don't know if any of you know what those two passages are, but they are two powerful passages. One is the 23rd Psalm. The other one is the Lord's Prayer. And so Knoxville College has been based and founded on that faith that God is our shepherd and that he will lead us. The other passage is a prayer of hope, of faith, and determination to know that what he has established, he will not leave. And so we know that this is an endearing principle that Knoxville College has been founded on. And so this institution has always been grounded in that faith and in that trust in God. And I believe that is why he has not allowed this institution to fail. It is why he has allowed it to endure through good times and through bad times. So I know that his grace is sufficient, and I know that it will carry us even when we feel like we cannot go on. And so, my family and my friends, until I put the call out for us to gather again in 2021, for the next 365 days, until we meet again, I pray that God will bless you, that God will keep your health strong during these unsettling times, that he will continue to sustain you through these just unsettling situations of our country. I know and I pray that God will continue to keep his hands around his school. So I pray that God will continue to bless you, and I pray that God will continue to bless Knoxville College. Thank you so much.